Okay, so building on our last tutorial where we talked about ducking the music underneath the dialogue, turning down the music underneath the dialogue, we're going to build out that a little bit and talk about how you might want to fill out your mixer for a real game. Now, it's a good idea to have a master sound effects, master music, and master dialogue, but you'll probably want to have submixers to control the volumes at different levels within each group. So for instance, this music group might have a bunch of different things that you want to put through it. For instance, you might have layered tracks. Let's say you have a piece of music that has 3 layered tracks in it, or you might have other things that you need to play from the music bus, like for instance, stingers or transitions. So how do you create submixers on just the music itself? What you can do is go to the main mixer, then go ahead and add in a new mixer. So hit the plus button, new mixer, and let's call this the music mixer. And right now the music mixer is not attached to anything, but what we want to do is we want to attach it to the music channel. So we go to this, the music mixer, and drag it to the main mixer. And then what it will do is it will ask us, well, how do you want to route it? Do you want to route it to one of these specific channels? And you'll say yes. You'll say, all right, I want to route that to the music channel. So now this music mixer is actually bussed over to the master music channel. Now, what do you want to have in the music mixer? Well, probably a lot of different things. Let's go ahead and add some groups in here about what you might want to have. You might want to have a channel that plays back stingers. You might want to have another channel that plays back transitions. Now right now the transitions actually feeds stingers, which feeds masters. If I drag it up to masters, basically what we'll do is create transitions will be separate. It won't be a sub sort of group underneath stingers, so that's probably where we want it. Also, you might have a track of music that's playing that has multiple layers in it. So if I go up here and add a plus, right, then what I'm going to do is MX for music, layer 1. And then go ahead and add a bunch of these. So MX layer 2. Now, I made a mistake again here. I want to make sure that this is underneath my master channel. So MX layer 1, MX layer 2, then I'll go in and do MX layer 3. Drag that up and put it where I want it. So now I have 3 music layer channels. I have a transition channel and a place where I can play stingers. Now, this is where we can use snapshots. So let's say you're working on the game and all the transitions are too loud. Then you can take down the transitions, right? Minus 10 dB, and then save it in your master snapshot. You can have other snapshots, and you probably will. For instance, when you first start the game, you will probably want music layer 2 and 3 down at, basically off. You can save that snapshot as your master snapshot, and then when you need to have music layer 2 come in, you could have, this might be suspense state. And in the suspense state, you bring up music layer 2. And then in the battle state, and these are that battle state snapshot, right? Then you might have music 3 up at 0, so and then you have all 3 layers in at the same time. If you can't get it exactly, you can always go up here and hit 0 and then put in the exact value that you want. So it initially starts out at just music layer 1, then suspense brings up music layer 2, and then battle brings up music layer 3. Now, that should give you enough information to kind of create and fill out how you might want to fill out, for instance, sound effects. If I was creating a sound effects channel or a sound effects submix, I'd probably want to create another new mixer, and I'd call it sound effects mixer. Again, I want to attach it to the main mixer and make sure that it routes to the sound effects master fader. And then inside of that, I want to have a bunch of groups. I might have a group called Foley, for Foley types of effects. That's like human effects, footsteps, clothes rustling, things like that. I may also want another channel for ambience effects. So that might include wind, thunder, weather types of effects. I may want another one called transportation, and another one called weapons. Now, unlike a normal mixer, these are set up so that it doesn't matter whether it's mono or stereo or 5.1. If it's in the 3D world, then it will automatically spatialize as it needs to for whatever speaker setup that the player has. So if the player has a 5.1 system, left, center, right, rear surround, right surround, left surround, plus a subwoofer, then it will automatically spatialize through the Unity engine itself. And each one, so let's say we have an ambience that's 5.1. Even though we see two channels here, it would actually bridge out to 5.1 channels, the 0.1 being the subwoofer. And you don't have to worry about it not being spatialized in the world. Unity will take care of the spatialization for you. It's not awesome at spatializing, but it's pretty good. And definitely when you're moving around the world, if you turn right, the sound's going to go the other direction, which is kind of cool. All right, so hopefully this is a good tutorial to sort of get you started on making your own audio mixers and starting to think about how you might approach a project in the future.